I am Nero, and I was sent back to destroy Babylon.
Been a major shift over the last decade among young adults in terms of how they feel, their pride in being an American. Because what are we talking about here? Well, let's just take a look. Under age 35, pride to be an American, extremely or very proud. You go back a decade ago under Barack Obama, it was 71% of those under the age of 35 were extremely or very proud to be American. That number has fallen through the floor. Look at this now. That number has fallen in half now. Just 36% of those under the age of 35 are either extremely or very proud to be an American. And this is a number that we've seen across the polling data. There has just been a major shift, a historic shift in the pride that young Americans feel for their country.
Let's break that down by party. Do you have this over the same period of time among Democrats?
Yeah, okay. So there are two reasons why pride in this country are falling. One is younger Americans. The other is Democrats. Okay, let's take a look here. This is from 2013 to late 2025, a slightly different survey, but if you look at the same survey that I was looking at on the first slide, it's the exact same story. Democrats' pride to be an American, extremely or very proud. In 2013, it was 83% under Barack Obama. Look at this number now. Just 31% of Democrats say they are extremely or very proud to be an American. That is the lowest number on record. When you combine both youth and being a Democrat, that number falls into the 20s, falls into the 20. Young Democrats, Generation Z Democrats, less than 30% of them are either extremely or very proud to be an American. So what we're seeing here is both age as well as partisanship playing a major role in the fact that pride and the proudness to be an American, either extremely or very proud, is at record lows.
Yeah, and the motivations, just look at the time period for Democrats, that is in line with how politics have changed. How about Republicans?
Okay, this is where it gets interesting, right? Because you mentioned, right, and I had mentioned that Barack Obama was president in the mid-2010s, and now Donald Trump a Republican, Democrat to Republican being president. But what about Republicans? Their numbers have actually stayed pretty steady. So let's take a look at this exact same poll. Republicans' pride to be an American, extremely or very proud. In 2013, it was 92%. By late 2025, pretty close, right? 80%, maybe a slight fall in this PRRI survey. But I will note in the Gallup poll, which measures over a similar period, there was no change. There was no change. So what we're seeing is we see younger people and Democrats really shifting away, shifting downward in their proudness to be an American, while Republicans have stayed pretty steady despite the partisanship of the president's changing, but Democrats very much shifting away as the partisanship of the president saying Donald Trump has really sort of changed the equation for young Americans and Democratic Americans, or those who identify as Democrats, while he really hasn't changed the equation when it comes to Republicans, whose pride levels have actually remained fairly steady over the same period.
Very interesting look. Thanks, Harry.
Thank you.
U.S. Olympic skier Hunter Hess is defending his right to speak out. In a post on Instagram, he writes, "I love my country," and adds, "There's so much that is great about America, but there are always things that could be better. One of the many things that makes this country so amazing is that we have the right and the freedom to point that out. The best part of the Olympics is that it brings people together, and when so many of us are divided, we need that more than ever. I cannot wait to represent Team USA next week when I compete." He was responding to a public rebuke from President Trump this weekend after saying this on Friday at the Winter Games in Milan.
It brings up mixed emotions to represent the U.S. right now, I think. It's a little hard. There's obviously a lot going on that I'm not the biggest fan of, and I think a lot of people aren't. Just because I'm wearing the flag doesn't mean I represent everything that's going on in the U.S. So yeah, I just kind of want to do it for my friends and my family and the people that support me getting here.
All here. Can we just collectively agree how embarrassing it is to be an American? Why would you leave America? Why would you move to Australia? Like, why would you leave your freedom behind? Your freedom is a fucking joke at this point. I actually get embarrassed when people ask me where I'm from to say America, because the only people in the world who thinks Americans are superior are Americans. The only people in the world who think that America is the greatest country in the world are Americans. Like, you go anywhere else in the world and being an American is like, oof. But I will have my iced latte and I will sit my happy ass on the beach and I will sit now.
All right, hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakaha Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, on whom I learn from each and every day. Healthy shalom to the 144,000. To the hopeful elect out there, shalom to you. Also to the speckled bird, also to the Akwaf that's listening and doing the right thing in the sight of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, mainly in the or through the order of your husband. It's the brother Gabar Adama coming back at you. I was gonna make this a quick hitter, but you know it is what it is. You saw that right there. You saw that. I got that clip. Salaki, I forget what the brother's name is. Of course, you know it's a great millstone brother. 100% truth. You know, hey, look, the pride, as it says in the book of Obadiah, the pride of thy heart have deceived thee. Matter of fact, I got a couple clips I wanted to show you. All right, it was a little lengthy, but it's really showing you the spirit of Babylon, mystery Babylon, right? you saw in the beginning, you saw Nero, right? You know, and I put that together myself with the AI stuff, you know, whatever. But you know, that's Nero coming back, to destroy Babylon, and it is clearly happening. Right? And what you have in front of you is a picture that I got from the Elder Hawad, all right? Here in North Carolina, in North Kakalaki. And what does it say? It says, help us. We're the victims again, right? So what you're witnessing is, America, a.k.a. Babylon, and the rest of the Edomites in general, circling the drain, man. And it's a beautiful thing. As the scripture said, a man to have joy of his children and live to see the downfall of his enemies. So let's jump in to the book of Proverbs 16 and verse 18. Pride goeth before destruction. Did you hear that, Israel? What did it say? And let's read it again. The pride's going away. The mirth is gone. The grinding is ceasing. You see? You don't hear nothing but wars and rumors of war, doom and gloom. People are putting away, putting rent on layaway. You can't afford the groceries. You can't afford your water. You got to pay for this. You got to pay for that. We subject to payments. Baruch 3 and verse 8 said we yet this day in our captivity. The scripture said that they refuse to let us go. But the scriptures also said, oh, most prideful, what are you doing now? The book of Isaiah, the 47th chapter. Now you got to stand with your enchantments. Now all the things that they're doing is not working. None of it's working anymore. Your nakedness is being uncovered, Esau, Edom, son of perdition. The devil the Bible speaks of. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. All right? Yeah, and I just had a couple scriptures. I thought that was that's a very telling video, about how really the mirth is gone. It's all gone, man. The scripture talk about the Esau Edom really had just a little short time to rule and do all the wickedness that he was doing. Now it's all being revealed and coming out, and you should be hanging your head in shame, you damn devils. But they won't do it. Why? Because they are prideful. Let's read about it. Let's prove it. All right. The scripture said the earth is given to Job 9 verse 24. Right. The earth is given unto what? The hand of the wicked. These professional victim villains. I got more. Salakia. Let's go back. That was let's go back here. I got more. What is? Look at this. All right. And I even got a picture, a photo, or whatever, in my folder here, going into how it's really going to end. Okay. And it was from this info. It's an information show or whatever. It's like animated, and it shows one of my favorite subjects in the scripture, but it shows the how do you put it, the like destruction and how what it does is it gives it's a YouTube channel, but it gives like scenarios, like nuclear scenarios and war scenarios and all that. And of course, it always favors who? It always favors Babylon. It always favors them. But, he don't know what's up. According to the scripture, you got Buddhist leader Dalai Lama, right? Look at him. Looking guilty. Mentioned 169 times in newly released e-files, man. Shh. Let's continue to read. Jeremiah 50 verse 31 reads, behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, saith the Lord Yahweh, our power, right? Of hosts. For the day is come, the time that I will visit thee. Ooh, and that actually brings me to another Woo, that actually brings me to another video that I wanted to show you. Elder Malcolm had put this up, and I just, I watched most of it. I haven't watched it all yet. But there was these two Jakes. One I believe was a female. Nowadays, that's how messed up this world is. Nowadays, you can't even really tell. But I believe it was a female Jake. All right, going into what the real problem is, and it's pale males. No, I ain't gonna say pale males. It's Esau, Edom in general. All right, all of them, man, woman, and child, because the scripture did say that as soon as they be born, they speak lies, man. See, look. What do you have? Emails exposed, blah blah blah, parties, hunting. What? Yep, you got it, and they showed you that in real life down there in New Orleans. That's how I say it. That's how they say it. I think. I don't want to offend anybody, but whatever. I don't give a shit. New Orleans, right? I don't care. Look at this. False flag attack. I could do whole lessons on this. You got Oprah. That brings me. That's a whole nother clip. There's a whole nother clip I want to show you. And it sounds just like Eve, man. Sounds just like Eve going into, basically had made a covenant since Genesis, the 3rd chapter. Oh man, there's so much. There's so much I want to get, but I really need to stay on task. This is going into the pride, but all right, nevertheless, look at this. Look at this shit, man. No qualms about it. I'm scared. I'm not scared of a germ. Oh, boy. You see this, don't you? You see this? Look. You see that? We got to suffer this, man. Everything is vexation here in this dumbass place, man. Here in Babylon, Mystery Babylon. Okay? Which I should have had Nero say in the beginning is Mystery Babylon. You get it? All right? There's a whole video right there. I don't want to play that. But, yeah. All right, I'll tell you what. Let me go ahead and play this video clip I got from Elder Malcolm. And there's a couple scriptures let me read this first. Isaiah 47 chapter, come down and sit in the dust, because this is what you getting ready. This is what you're seeing. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, right? Sit on the ground, there is no throne, daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Man, you saw that video? They're not, look, even that Shedemite, in the end or whatever, I don't know what she is. She could be Israelite. She could be a Moab. It don't matter. Seed of your father. That's a whole. Lately, it's coming back up again, right? It's coming back up again. People are not spiritual enough to see what's going on, but even the Shedemite, even she was like, I'm just gonna sip my mimosa or whatever the hell she said, iced coffee or whatever. This place is stew, man. There is no throne, no more be called tender and delicate, right? Take the millstone and grind meal, uncover the locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Let's do this. Let's go back to here. There we go. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. See? Shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. So when who the world idiot calls Jebus comes back, he's coming back in his angelic body to what? Absolutely destroy. And matter of fact, that's a precept to the little video clip I'm getting ready to show you right now. All right? Well, this Jake, he going into, the other Jake, the male, he's going into talking about the angels, which they call UFOs and UAPs. That's coming, man. And that's in the scriptures. All this is prophesied to happen. See? In the presence of the Lamb, man. Destroying and highly concentrated laser beams, just killing him and maiming and doing everything that he wants to do. Why? Because he said he's angry with the wicked every day. And especially 2/3 judgment must start at the house of Israel. Check this out.
Brown dummies. Okay, so but without any further ado, here we go.
I was like, why is nobody getting so mad about everything that's happening right now? And I have a conclusion. It's the reason why everyone's not so mad right now is because race. Bro, we know everything in the mother. The stereotype, black people are thugs. Mexicans, they are criminals. Middle East, your terrorists, Asians, your whatever. Like there's a racial thing behind everything. When it comes to these people who are doing these vicious, horrible, satanic things, they are white. They're white. For so long, our world has seen white people as the number one. They're the perfect race to be born as. Blonde hair, blue eyes, remember that shit? And now look. Now look. Now look. The reason why y'all not mad is because the race that is doing all these vicious things, you can't see them as other than perfect. They are not perfect. These are the people that are doing the most vicious shit. If another race did this, everyone would be angry. Do all this racist shit. But now, yo, they worse than every other race right now. They worse than the gangs, they worse than the criminals, they worse than the terrorists, they're worse, they're all of them. Like, dude, do you not realize that right now? Stop seeing their perfection and see their humiliation. Humiliate them, they need to be done, bro. Not all white people, but just these people. These white people. These blancos, bro, come on. These mayonnaise warriors, come on.
I keep hearing about these white folks keep saying that there's this cigar paint spaceship on the way. It'll be here about November. It's a bunch of giant black people. So let me give a message to the brothers on the way. Brothers, thank you. My prayer is that you don't wait to start firing.
Yeah, so you heard what he said. And look, man, when I heard this, it hit me like a ton of bricks. And I may have to go back and watch this actual video, this whole entire video, because what he said is the truth. Matter of fact, it's biblical. See, Yahweh Shem Yahushua is putting a spirit on everybody, man. Even the scripture said in these last days, he's going to put the spirit on sons and daughters and wives and people to prophesy, and people dreaming dreams, having visions. The MOT to the BBB is basically almost implemented. And all these things were told to you directly from the apostles and the men all the way on down. Okay? First, they were told over decades, man. They were told to you, but what he said, it got me. It really did. It hit me like a ton of bricks. And I said, I immediately have to jump into a lesson. I stopped everything I was doing. Okay? This work come first. Anyway, this is Revelation 22 and verse 7. What he said was, he said, the angels, these brothers, these big, tall, black people, you heard what that, so-called black people, right? You heard what that scientist said. He said, there are black people on them ships. He said they're black. Remember? And he was disturbed, man. He was like a NASA scientist or astronaut. I think it was astronaut. But what this guy said, he said they are our brothers. He said the brothers coming, and I hope you don't do what? He said, I hope you don't commence to shooting. Hey, that was very spiritual what he said, man. He very well could be listening. I don't know. But this whole world has heard the word. Anyhow, Revelation 22 verse 7, behold, I come quickly. Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of the prophecy of this book. And yes, it has prophesied that Yahushua gonna come with 20,000, even thousands of angels with him. That's what the scripture said. It said that, and they're not gonna spare nothing. But the scripture did say, "Come not near them that have the mark," and you should know which one I'm talking about. Revelation 14 and verse 9, and it reads, "And the third angel following them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark, his mark, in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High." Did you hear that? And he coming with his angels, right? See? Which are what? Our brothers. And then the scriptures explain what they look like. See? That's our brothers right there. So that was very spiritual. Again, it hit me like a ton of bricks when he said that. I enjoyed watching that video. Kahalo Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right? Poured out without mixture in the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and with brimstone in the presence of the holy angels. And in the presence of the Lamb. And that's Yahushai. Did you see what that scripture did you see what it said? You know, hey, it also goes into when he was talking about their brothers. Let's go ahead and do it like this. I would share my screen, but you know, there's no reason. I'll just do it like this. What a good video, man. You know, you can see in Jake's eyes, Salakia. You can see like the spirit, the salt in his eyes. You can see, you know, when I say salt in his eyes, I don't mean like, you know, his eyes is messed up, but you can just see the spirit on him. Okay. How does scripture go? Don't worship me, I am your brother. Don't worship me, I am your brother. Salakia, I should know this offhand, but you know, I don't. You know, there ain't no sense in lying about it. What does scripture say? Shit. Salakia. Give me one moment. I may have it pulled up on this phone. It's a Coco. Damn crazy ass dogs, man. Crazy ass dogs. And it's Flutie and it's right here, man. Call halal Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Salakia for that. It's right here. Yeah, there it is. I had it pulled up. Okay, anyway, verse 8. Yeah, behold, I come quickly. Yeah, verse 8 reads, and I, John, saw these things and I heard them. I must be tripping today. Wow. And when I had heard and seen, I fell down to worship before the feet of the what? Of the angel. Did you hear that? Before the feet of the angel, which showed me these things. So, hey, it's right there in the scriptures. What did it say? He fell down to the feet of the angel and what? And worshiped him. Right? Verse 9 reads, then saith he unto me, see thou do it not. Do what not? He said, don't worship me. Why? It's spiritual. I told you, that was a spiritual thing, man. All right? For I am thy fellow servant. Did you see that? And thy brethren of the prophets. So the scripture very plainly told you exactly what that Jake just said. That they are our brothers. And in fact, they are coming with Yahushai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, for the salvation of the elect, not all Israel. All right, as it tells you in Romans, the 9th chapter. You see? All right, thy brethren the prophets, and of them which keep the sayings of this book, worship the Most High Yahweh. All right, and that's that. There was something else I may wanted to put in there. It don't matter. It don't matter. You know, I think that will suffice, and hopefully it's edifying because that's what it's all about. All right, you know what? There is something else I wanted to put in there. It was going into what Eve said. It's disturbing. You know, it also goes into Genesis, the 3rd chapter. You know, what Eve made, it was, subtle. The serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field. It was absolutely disgusting what she was talking about. Now, I may do it in another lesson. I'll just leave it like this. Give it all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai. And every chance you get, chant this place down. Okay? Kwam Yasharala and Wa Abai Babal. Boom! Shalom.